Hello and welcome to the Lost Art Podcast. I'm Paul and I'm here with Gar.
That's me.
And today's episode we are discussing our favourite boom basslines.
Boom.
Oh
yeah.
Fucking basslines, man. This is the first time we've ever... This is also our first one of
2020.
2020. Hey, first one of 2020.
Fucking a whole new year this shite.
Not this shite.
Not
we
this
like
shite, just life.
Yeah.
Also, it has to be said that it's like mad early. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, it is quite early.
We're recording this real early for some reason. We're drinking coffee.
Because we realised that we ran out, because of the Christmas period, we want to keep you supplied with podcasts and the Patreon people supplied with one, so we just ran out. So shit. Yeah. Can't miss one. We'll never miss one.
No, we did actually record enough, but we gave one to the Patreons. We probably gave our best one ever.
Very good.
To the Patreons. Ever. No messing. Like, the topic itself is whatever. But Jesus Christ.
What was it, TV themes?
TV themes, yeah.
Oh, had everything nostalgia.
On fire, lad.
Lit up. But this is our first one, and this is our first ever, I think, I'm pretty sure, instrument specific.
Is it? I think it might be. We don't like best intros.
Yeah, but I picked piano and bass and guitar.
Yeah, we haven't done like best guitar or anything like that.
Yeah, now this, whatever about best bass lines, bassists are annoying cunts, but they're also sound. They are sound, but they're just a bit nerdy.
They are. Well, they're always, what I always found about bassists is that, like, we talked about this before about guitarists, like the best guitarist in the band, or the best guitarist you've ever played with, is the guy that has like the Argos guitar, doesn't have an amp. You know, this type of shy. Bassists are the complete and utter opposite. Bassists are forever looking for like that new little pedal, or a new little sans amp, or a type of cable, or a new little thing for their amp that makes them sound better.
Slightly warmer.
Just something. Lad, come on now. It's
so
just
warm.
Boodle, 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 boom.
No, I disagree. I think, like, I know from trying to, I'm not a bassist, but I have laid down.
Stop it. They're going to stick in my mouth.
I have laid down some bass on tracks I've been working on because I didn't have a bassist handy to do it.
Yeah, but you just find a nice bass tone. I'm not saying anything will do.
No, but I'm saying I can never find a nice bass tone. But then again, I was only using fucking active basses, which are horrible. I don't like them.
Clinky.
Don't like active basses at all. I bought a Yamaha bass and I was like, fuck man, you should have just bought a fucking square version of a P bass.
You know what I have here actually? I have, there's a bass guitar. There's a band who used to play here an awful lot.
Don't, because you want me on a rabbit.
Oh yeah, no, they won't. They retired. They're gone. The band doesn't exist anymore. And they used to play. They were English lads, but they used to come over every couple of months, and they play here a lot. Actually, the bassist was in 2 or 3 bands that were part of this record label deal. So instead of just having to pay for flying stuff over, he just grabbed the bass one day, threw it in a hard case, brought it over, and left it here. Now it's a bag of shite like Legend or something like that. Right?
I think I played that. Was I played that upstairs before? No, we played some guitar that someone left that was banjaxed.
Yeah, that was actually mine that I hadn't looked at in like 4 years.
Oh, sorry.
It's been sitting in it. That's the fact that's banjacked. That guitar, that's an acoustic guitar of mine that's been sitting in a toilet for like 5 years.
That was, do you know what? And I had to stand on the strings to get them down onto the frets.
Shocking, some bits.
The action on that was hefty.
Horrific. But this bass guitar...
Punch the frets.
Exactly. This bass guitar, it's like a Legend bag of shy, but I'm telling you now, no word of lie, one of the nicest little things I ever played. The neck and all on it is gorgeous. The weight is gorgeous. It sounds deadly.
Give us a go of it.
Yeah.
Not now, but...
Not right now. Let's fuck this podcast.
You know what I was thinking
we'll do our own best bass lines.
Do you know what I was thinking of? I was thinking of getting the bass person in that would play live the bass lines live when we did this. Then I was like, we'll do that for volume 2. We'll have a live bassist in volume 2 to play as we're talking about
play them.
Yeah.
I'm looking away with
So without further ado, who's your first one?
First one I picked is a Beatles song. It's a Taxman.
Yeah, that gets stuck in your head, alright.
The minute when we decided this is what we were gonna do, the first one that popped into my head was this, and it's not because it's overly complicated.
So simple, actually.
It's just fucking stupid. But the minute you hear it, boom, 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 that's you for the whole day.
Yeah.
The whole day. It's fucking over.
That's the baseline version of Toss a Coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty.
Yes, exactly. Stop it. Thank you, by the way.
Yeah,
thank you.
No worries.
That's me fucked now.
In my head.
That's me fucked now. So this is off Revolver, which I've said on many, many occasions is my favourite Beatles album from 1966. This song's actually written by George Harrison and sang by George Harrison. There's a couple of little firsts. It's the only George Harrison song that he wrote for the Beatles that is an opener on an album. And it's also only the 6th song he'd ever written for the Beatles.
Yeah, his songs are incredible.
Yeah.
Just brilliant.
Apparently there was weird stuff going on where George had kind of resigned himself to the fact that the Beatles was John and Paul.
Yeah.
And he wasn't really bothering all that much to kind of write or whatever. Even though before the Beatles he was a well-loved kind of songwriter in his own right, in his own scene. But he just kind of consigned himself. He's like, fuck it, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to be the guy in the Beatles who no one really ever talks about.
He's my favourite Beatle.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I don't know if I think they're all fucking arseholes.
Ringo seems nice.
He's just something wrong with Ringo.
Yeah.
Literally something wrong with Ringo.
Hello, everyone.
Even to this day, even to this fucking day, there's something wrong with him. So he had this idea for Taxman. He had a little riff together, and the song itself is actually, it's a grand little song.
I love this song. It's a great song.
It's fine.
The lyrics are brilliant.
Well, I was reading about what the song is about, right? Obviously it's about a fucking Taxman. But
Is it?
well, apparently so. What had happened in the mid-60s, whoever the British Prime Minister was, had instituted this thing called a super tax. And
Super tax.
Super tax. We'll get some echo on that. Super tax. And I'm actually going to put echo on that.
Sponsored by Velton.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. They instituted a super tax, and what this meant was anybody who was earning over a certain amount was liable for 95% taxation by the British government. So the Beatles were getting fucking wrecked. Wrecked. They were getting to keep 5% of their money.
That makes no sense. That's
5%.
probably less than what other people surely would earn.
There was more there. A 95% super tax. So Harrison was like, hang the fuck on. Like the lad, to be fair, the lad still had a load of money. 5%
No, but that doesn't matter. They're working at that level.
Exactly.
They're the best band in the entire world.
Exactly.
And they were,
95% was being taken off them. So Harrison went and wrote these lyrics and all this kind of shit. Now apparently, George and Paul weren't bestos. Paul was very adamant about it just being him and Lennon writing the songs. So when Harrison was writing the song, he gave John a shout. Just listen, give us a dig out with one or two little bits here. So John wrote one or two little licks and little lines lyrically to help him along, because John said himself that like George just couldn't go to Paul. It just wasn't a thing. Paul would just shoot him down and say absolutely not. Because
I thought it would have been the other way around.
So would I, but
then the more you think about it, fucking John's probably like, I don't give a shit.
He doesn't care, probably. But because Revolver was kind of meant to be McCartney's album, like he was going to be the driving force.
Well, I would have presumed he wrote this because he's the bassist.
Yeah.
Primary.
Yeah. I mean, it's his line, but
although you could play this, you know what the gas thing is? You could play this song on guitar, and after about a minute, well, if you played it on bass, people would instantly know it was the Taxman. You played it on guitar, and yeah, they'd probably think it was a regular reggae song, actually. Yeah. But, eventually you'd know it was Taxman. So it's not really a guitar-driven song. The guitar is very sparse on it.
Well, guitar pretty much just comes in at the end of every bar, just blam, blam, and that's it, and it just goes back. It's pretty much a drum and bass song. I love it.
It's great.
I think it's a great little song. It's a great opener. The rest of this album is perfect. This is for me, is the album. I think this is the perfect balance of original kind of poppy Beatles and then going fucking mad Beatles.
Yeah.
This does a lot for me.
Don't really know many other people that play the Honer bass.
Fuck that bass.
Like, I think, you know what? It might have been too taken by the Beatles. Like, if someone else started playing that, it looks like a fucking old violin.
Of course, it's like someone like playing an Explorer or something. I know there's definitely metal bands that play Explorers, but you think of James Hetfield.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It might be taken enough and you go, it's not, the identity's already been taken too strongly.
What was that fucking, it was like a Razorback or one of them fucking garbage things that Dimebag Darrell played. One of them.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, leave it alone. So there's some things that are just owned by particular musicians.
Yeah.
And that fucking McCartney bass, first of all, it's absolutely horrific looking.
I just hate the look. The only guitar that annoys me is fucking Ian Curtis's guitar.
What's he got?
From Joy Division. The fucking little, it looks like a crest.
Really?
The bottom of it it looks like a regular guitar and it goes down into a sort of V at the bottom. Very tiny guitar.
I know the ones, yeah.
Looks like a spade.
Yeah, I know, yeah, like a little teardrop thing. Yeah, they're epoxy, yeah. Who was it makes them? It's not Dan Electro.
It might be.
Dan Electro did do a series of those. There's another called Eastwood Guitars.
He begins with E.
I think it's Eastwood. Make those. They basically specialise on horrific looking guitars. That kind of sound cool.
And he played like on 2 songs, one live or something, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Look at my guitars as well.
Exactly. Look at me with my instrument. Anyway, that was the Beatles, Taxman. That's my first pick. Who's your first pick?
This is possibly one of the most famous bass lines of all time. This is Good Times by Chic. So we finally got Nile Rodgers. Well, this is Bernard Edwards playing bass, but we finally got Nile Rodgers onto the podcast. Finally. In song form.
Although to be fair, we haven't actually, Nile Rodgers hasn't come up in about a month or two.
No, that's why. It's good to get him in now.
We took a Nile Rodgers break.
I'm looking through my list. I've seen a lot of these acts live. I've never seen Chic live, which is crazy because I'm Irish.
It's probably next week.
He's probably playing.
He's on his way here
right now.
Literally every single poster that went up. There was a 3-year period in this city, in Dublin City, where every single poster that was on the billboard said Nile Rodgers and Chic.
He was being advertised for his next gig while the other one hadn't even happened yet.
Yep.
I was like, what?
Do you know who we're doing that? Aslan were doing that. Aslan played last week in Vicar Street, done 3 nights in a row. And in the middle of that run, MCD were advertising next year's fucking gigs in the Olympia.
Jesus.
Just fucking hell.
Just people get off the back of that, get the tickets now. They did it with Post Malone. They started doing it with lots of people. Tickets are coming out too early. I can't afford them now for something that's going to wait a year. Fuck that. Anyway, Bernard Edwards is a fucking unreal bassist. This is from 1979. This is sampled by the Sugar Hill Gang and Rapper's Delight. That's
what I got it mixed up earlier.
Yeah, no, this is, and the gas thing is, that's a real kind of, if you listen to this version, and then you go back to listen to the Sugar Hill Gangs, and the Sugar Hill Gangs one sounds a bit empty. This one has just so much going, especially towards the end of Good Times. It's just instrumental, and it's just that bass line repeated over and over and over again, and it doesn't get boring. It doesn't get boring at all.
When you get onto a good thing, I suppose.
Yeah, he was a massive influence on John Taylor of Duran Duran, who, I mean, come on, he's going to come up in this.
Yeah,
and after he died in Tokyo of pneumonia right after a show.
Well,
that Nile Rodgers kept saying to him, "Don't play that show. Don't play this show.
Really?
Let's just back out of it now." And he goes, "No, fuck it, I'll play it." And he had to get like other people to come on halfway through and help him play.
Let's play himself, lazy cunt. Give the guitar to somebody else.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Does it?
Anybody can do that, you stupid bastard. Nile Rodgers is a beast on fucking bass. Yeah,
it's just one note on guitar.
That's all he does.
That's because he loves fucking doing nothing.
Of course.
And to be fair, if I was in a band, I'd be aiming to be the one doing fuck all.
Can I be the one just with the fucking keyboard and
zero?
And I hit one, every whom.
So after he died, he actually, because John Taylor
he got better.
After he died, everyone will get better when they die, man. Everybody gets better when they die. I don't think the sickness in heaven. Imagine getting a chest infection in heaven. Like, what's this shit?
This is a lot of sickness in heaven.
And anyway, he gave his Music Man Stingray to
beast of an instrument.
Yeah, we see. I started to look at all these bases that we have, and I've listed what their base is.
All right,
because we needed to.
We didn't do that.
We need to come up with more info. That's what I'm saying. And if we both did it, it'd seem weird. Like we fucking planned it. So
I should have done that. That's a good idea.
It was, yeah. I think most bases are going to be listening to this. They're going to be like, "Oh,
of course," because they're all gearheads, aren't they?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So I literally only came to me on the bus about 20 minutes ago and went, "Fuck, I have to go through equipboard.com now and check out all these guns." And so he played mainly the Fender P bass, which is one of my favorite basses. Yeah. I'm not a bassist, but I do love the fact that it's almost an all rounder.
You can't go wrong with a P bass.
It's just so lovely and warm
and heavy.
It is, yeah. It's just fucking heavy.
And it also makes small people look tiny.
Yeah.
If you're not like of normal proportions, forget it. Get yourself another bass. Get another fucking bass, lad. You look wrong. You know them lads who were so small and they have like P basses. The necks are so long
pop
and skinny.
Punk bands, which P bass is perfect for.
Yeah, exactly. But the arms, they can't even hit. It's like F. No, play it up here instead.
They're banging it off the side of the amp to hit that note.
That's it. Belting the fucking drummer with it.
Yeah. So listen, it's one of the most famous bass lines of all time. It's one of the most sampled bass lines, and Good Times by Chic. It's a fucking great song.
Super.
It is, but still, Nile Rodgers is a fucking chancer.
Fucking Nile Rodgers.
Who's your next one?
I'm going to try and get him on this podcast.
Should.
When we have money.
Man, he'll do it in Ireland.
He's here anyway.
He'll open up a shoe. We're opening up shoe on Dorset Street there. Nile Rodgers.
Oh, fucking. He's actually a great man for interviews. If you watch any YouTube videos where they're just talking about music, he's very good.
He's mad into it.
He's very good.
Yeah. I was reading him talking about this, and this Bassline was inspired by an Earth, Wind and Fire song of the same year, which name I fucking can't remember. I listened to it and it wasn't a fleece. It was you could tell it was just if I just start with stop.
Yeah.
Then a bit.
Yeah.
That's my favourite type of bass lines.
Yeah.
My other type of favourite bass lines are ones that creep in. Boom.